LGBTQ plus Pride Month, and we're here celebrating with Also Youth. Here with more on how they're serving youth on the Suncoast is Executive Director Nathan Bremer. Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nancy.
Welcome to the program, and
Thank
you so much for being here. There's so much going on in our community with LGBTQ plus and Pride Month.
Yes.
Why is it so important for our local communities to know so much about this? Why is it so important?
Yeah, I think sometimes people think it's just a party, but this is a very special year with the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising.
Yes, yes.
And so we're reflecting a lot on the history. While the visibility is important, it's also about coming together as community. Those Pride marches and those Pride celebrations began the year after Stonewall. And it was a way to find community and be accepted. And now it's a partnership really with allies and with entire communities that we are inclusive, and local communities are celebrating in lots of different ways all over the country.
And it's important for, our, like you said, our local community just to know what it is, what it's all about, because there's a lot of people who don't know how to interact.
Sure.
And I work for Ringling College, and obviously I'm very familiar with this. So it would be good for the community to become a little more comfortable with what socially is involved with this. And I know that Also Youth is a local nonprofit that our viewers may not be familiar with. How does that all tie in?
Sure. So we have been around for over 25 years. And
Amazing.
In some ways we're doing the work quite quietly in the early years, but started by parents and local community members that saw the needs of our LGBTQ plus youth.
Sure.
At the time, they were concerned about anxiety and depression and suicidal ideation, and they came together to form support groups and community safe space, and we're still doing that. We have a youth center based out of Sarasota. We're serving the Suncoast with our outreach in both the schools and with other youth-serving organizations. We do a tremendous number of trainings at all levels, and we partner with a lot of organizations who are also serving gay and transgender youth.
Okay. How has it changed? You said you started 25 years ago. It must have changed a lot in the last 25 years.
Yes and no. We still have parents and families certainly leading the conversation about the needs, and so our core remains the same work we've always been doing. But what's shifted, I think, is the awareness in the community. There has, over the last 25 years, been a lot of political discourse and I think a lot of misunderstandings.
Absolutely.
What we have now is actually research that tells us, why are our young people not getting to successful outcomes? Why are there the challenges? And we also have best practices. And we have a willingness from folks across Sarasota and Manatee and Charlotte and beyond to actually have open dialogue and base those decisions not on a misunderstanding, but on an awareness that we want all of our children here to grow happy and healthy to adulthood, and that's what we're going to do here locally.
Okay. Now, how do you reach out into the community, or vice versa? How does the community reach out to you?
Sure. So, we go to a lot of community events. We were at the Stop the Violence Cookout this past Sunday. Some of our youth ambassadors and the staff participated in honoring with action the 49 that we lost in the Pulse tragedy 3 years ago. But we do a lot of community events and a lot of partnerships. So we're visible. We do anti-bullying training in the schools. We're invited to go to other youth-serving organizations. And so really it's an ongoing conversation and dialogue. But in that way we're interacting. And then we have a lot of folks that come into the center looking for resources, and we share what we have and continue to do the work.
And where's your location? Where are
so
you?
We're near Lebanon Boulevard of the Arts, and so you can find the address on our website. We have youth hours where we just have the youth there, and then we have administrative hours for different times. But yes, we had a beautiful renovation. We've been in that location actually 17 years. Our history, I don't know exactly where the locations are, but we were on Ringling at one point and on Main another point. I hear different stories when alumni who are now 30 or 40 years old come back, which is great. I wish we had this robust, history and alumni network. But I do hear stories. But we've been where we are 17 years.
That's awesome.
And a year and a half ago, we had an amazing renovation done by the local folks with the Interior Design Society and a lot of volunteers. And it's a beautiful space. And I'm welcome to give tours to anyone that'd like to come by.
Okay, that's great. Now, Also, youth is working to address complex and evolving needs
Yes.
in the community. How are they actually reaching out and working with the rest of the community?
Sure. So a lot of times other youth serving organizations, guidance counselors, and social workers may refer youth or families they're working with, so they'll come to the center for our programs. We do a lot of outreach into the schools. We have diversity clubs and LGBT clubs in all of our schools here in Sarasota. We have a very strong partnership with the Sarasota School District and provide training. So we're still providing a support and education function, which is our basic function. We have support groups. But I tell you honestly, our best marketing and advertising are the youth. They tell one another about what we are doing in a way far better than we ever could. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, how can our community help you?
Sure. Well, of course, as a small nonprofit, we always appreciate support financially, but more than anything, I think getting the message out, and when you're in spaces or involved in other organizations, if you want to learn about what the needs are, let me know, and then be a voice for our youth, and I think together we can solve this problem.
I think we can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Nathan.
Happy Pride Month.
Thank you. You as well. After the break, we hear about some exciting events to look forward to this weekend.